How can you explain your complex work and complex idea to people who are completely outside of your field, to non-experts? So this is a question that I get asked all the time, and I would say that if I have to name one challenge STEM professionals are facing, I would definitely say that it is this one. Why it is so? I believe it is because as STEM professionals, we have received so much training into how to reach that technical excellence that when it comes to the other part, which is actually interacting with others and explaining what our work is in the first place, and especially how it impacts those people and why it is important, we haven't received any training in that. At least the people who I'm working with, what I've witnessed, they clearly haven't received any training in that. And of course, we struggle with it, right? We believe that everyone sort of understands what is it that we are doing, because we are so much immersed into that it makes it really, really hard to sort of lower the level of jargon in our talks, in our reports, in the way we express and explain ourselves. So why is this a problem? First of all, it is a problem because it prevents us from being recognized and rewarded for our work. Just think about the grant application, or paper publications, or even career stuff like pitching for a promotion, or wanting to get to that leadership position. Like, everything is so conditioned by the way you express yourself, especially if your work is complex, as STEM work, I would say, in 100% of the cases is. So it's really important for us to make sure that other people are aware of the work that we are doing, and consequently aware of its importance, so they can first recognize it and then reward us accordingly. So what I see happening all the time is that whenever people are talking to non-experts, they are they get in this situation of believing that the more details you give to people, the more likely it is that they will understand you. However, this is very, very far from the truth, because what people who are not experts actually need, they do not need all the data, they do not need all the detailed explanation. What they need is a map, a roadmap through your project. So you literally have to think of it like a guided tour. Okay, here is where we start, here is where we are going, and this is the way we are going to get there. So it is your job to be like a tour guide for them and to guide them through your thinking process, so that they can not only appreciate the result, but appreciate the way you actually use to reach that specific result and that specific outcome. And I would say this is the only way people are actually going to recognize what your work consists of. Because let's face it, many times you are just maybe at a networking event. It happened to me many times. I start explaining what is it that I'm doing before, when I was working as a scientist, and then people were like nodding ahead, and then I would say something else, and they would say, okay, but what is it that you actually do? And this question only means that those people do not get the very essence of your work. So it is your job to treat every presentation, every report, every meeting, every paper as a guided tour. People want to feel guided. They are genuinely interested, but we have to make it easy for them to keep that interest going. So whenever you're explaining your work to non-experts, think about that. Think about how to give them a guided tour. How can I give them a better and unforgettable guided tour throughout my thinking process? And doing this is something that I help STEM professionals do. Actually, I help them how to get that skill of explaining their work in a way that is understandable, visible for others, in a way that they can be rewarded for it, and they can actually be perceived for the impact that they are doing in the world. So if you are a STEM professional, engineer, data scientist, developer, or whatever other kind of STEM professional, and you feel that you're doing great work, but it's not really valued for the effort that you're putting into it, chances are that The problem is the way you are explaining it, and people cannot value something they do not understand. So think of this guided tour metaphor the next time you have to express your work. And if you're interested in this kind of coaching, this is exactly what I help STEM professionals do. I will leave a link down below where you can schedule a completely free intro session with me, where you can sort of get a glimpse of how this looks like, how my coaching could help you in achieving exactly that, so that your work is finally visible and understood by others, but by all of those important people who are standing there in between you and your promotion, you and your funding, you and your publication, and so on. So I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, see you in another video very soon. Bye bye.